A year has passed since Myrtani was defeated in the ruins of Krynn. The survivors of that campaign has been called together to celebrate and to remember fallen comrades. You meet outside of the Garga's Outpost. During the year, the knights have used the equipment you donated to restore the peace. The trip to the Garga's Outpost was uneventful. You arrived the night before the celebration. Do you wish to rest? I think we do. Just checking the display of the individual magical effects. There is a bug when you transfer characters from Champions of Krynn to Death Knights of Krynn and further on to Dark Queen of Krynn that sometimes it will retain the effects of weapons you have equipped despite the fact you lost them. And for some bizarre reason it can give you those effects even though you haven't got the weapons equipped, which I find to be game breaking, so I want to double check that they weren't present. We are going to memorize one spell for a event that happens 10-15 minutes from now, and that is a snake charm. Dispel magic, always good, so we'll keep those. Next up is to check for spells to scribe. I probably know most of them, but no harm in double checking, triple checking, and quadruple checking, because checking is fun. Bear in mind, of course, that in the Krynn trilogy there are white, red, and black mages. You cannot be a black mage, but white and red mages are good and neutral, respectively, and they have access to different spells, so having at least one of each is very important. Bonus spells are dictated by the moons, as you can see at the top of the screen. There's a white dot, a red dot, and a bluish dot, which are the 3 moons of Krynn, which determines the effectiveness, power, and other things from magic. It also determines bonus spells. Just checking what we have memorized. Expect Fireball to be a stable spell. It is a spell that is used excessively, extensively, whatever you would call it. Possibly excessively. And I like to save my games at regular intervals, so I don't have to redo stuff that I've been doing. The beautiful Lady Maya stands and gives a eulogy for Sokal. His bravery helped the heroes gathered here to overcome the massive forces of evil. If he were alive today, I am sure that he would be very proud. A fat knight whispers to you. She is amazingly beautiful for a silver dragon. Don't you know that Sokal was in love with her? She is now one of the deadliest hunters of evil in the lands. The festival continues into the early evening while thunderheads gather in the west. Suddenly, small specks detach themselves from the black clouds. They grow rapidly larger until a huge desert dragon, flanked by nightmares, sweeps toward the suddenly silent celebration. You note something familiar about the decaying leader atop the dragon. Maya screams in despair as she recognizes the gruesome remains of her ex-lover. Sokal brandishes his sword as his death dragon swoops toward the scattering crowd. As he comes close, the corpse of Sokal shouts, You pathetic worms sicken me. In life I believed the pap about honor and virtue succeeding, but death has revealed the truth. Catch these trophies from the first knights I have met. He tosses down a pile of armor and weapons. As you look up again, he has grabbed the dragon lance on display and is heading away. Maya streaks after him. Before you can follow, the nightmares have deposited their riders before you. Other knights rush to your aid. The battle is joined. And here we get into the first fight of this chapter. And of course, fireballs. And nightmares are very, very fast creatures. They have a good armor class for what they are. And they have an annoying breath that can blind the people. But a few fireballs will happily take them out. The skeleton warriors are magically enchanted skeletons. They're not your average Joe, easy to turn skeletons or skeletons, whatever. They are virtually immune to magic, and they don't care about a cleric's attempt at turning undead. And of course, if they don't care about the cleric's attempt to turn undead, then they don't really care about paladins either. Bless is a good spell to cast. It increases your to-hit armor class rating by 1. And it also affects saving throws, I think. I can't remember. I could easily look it up, but I'm too lazy. Sorry. One thing of note, of course, is when it comes to the skeletons of any kind, they take half damage even damage, alright, from piercing and slashing weapons and full damage from crushing weapons, which is why, despite the fact that the flail is an inferior weapon, from a pure statistical point of view, it will still do more damage than the sword. As you can probably see, the nightmares have an awful lot of movement. One thing I've noted in this fight is the fact that I forgot to alter the speed. And while I don't necessarily want the combat speed to be very low, I do like to be able to catch certain things because certain things even. Damn, I talk rubbish right now. I want to be able to catch certain things so I can make some dramatic cuts out of it because about 2.5 hours of this has been pre-recorded. I wanted to get some recording going, so this is after the fact voiceover. As he only has slashing weapons, I decided that I may as well just try and shoot at that nightmare until, of course, I realized, oops, I've used my arrows. Hooray! You can't use them, you have to equip them, or ready them if you want. Ah, we have success. I can actually do the thing I'm trying to do. Hooray! And missed. I could min-max and change weapons around for every single individual opponent, and I'm too lazy for that. Of course, remember this is a Dungeons and Dragons. Clerics, while effectively priests, are definitely combat friendly. I think they got tuned down a bit in later versions of Dungeons and Dragons, but in Dungeons and Dragons 2, or second edition, I should say, they definitely could hold down. Obviously not as good as a fighter, but able to wear plate armor and use crushing weapons because they don't want to draw blood. A cleric is a reliable help on the front line. And of course, you have the healing close by, which is always a good thing. So I'm happily putting her into the front line. And yes, I know technically I got played mail +1 on her that I could happily transfer to my paladin, but you know what? It'll be okay. He will eventually get much better played than just a mere +1. So try to set up that skeleton for backstabs, which may seem a bit wonky, but if they're immune to crits, they can't be backstab, but I'm fairly sure they are not immune to crits, they are just resilient to slashing piercing weapons, and they got quite a lot of health for what they are. When engaging new enemies, I will try to do a quick rundown of what they are, what they're not, what they're vulnerable to, and what they're not vulnerable to. And yeah, I backstabbed it. Hurry! I caught him between the ribs! Details. Shh! Don't tell anyone. It worked. Don't knock it. It worked. The way to set up backstabs is if the thief is attacking a target directly opposite the previous attacker, then a backstab is set up. And that is the main reason to have a thief in these games, is to take down high health targets. Because you will see some silly damage backstabs. And of course, because he's a fighter thief, he can get 2 attacks from the fighter side, and I don't know whether it's intentional or it's a bug in the game's code. Not necessarily a bug, but an oversight. He will happily backstab twice. With the enemy defeated, the knights gather what they can and retire to the outpost to regroup. Evil forces close in and lay siege. The outpost's gates will soon be sealed against the invaders. Many are in agony. Help with healing? Of course we do. The outpost commander walks up. We thank you. As he died, a knight willed this to you. After you rest, see me in my chamber. It is upstairs in the keep to the northeast. Time to walk around a bit. Something that's very nice about this version is the fact that you can probably see some of the characters' names has changed to a purplish color, which means they're eligible for level ups. And I'm hopelessly trying to find the training hall, which I should know where is. It's right there. Hooray! Now I could be safe scumming to make sure they get maximum hit points, but I'm not bothering. In Queen of Krynn, there's a fix option once you transfer your characters to Queen of Krynn, which will give all the characters the maximum amount of hit points they are eligible to have at their level. So we will just deal with it in this game. We don't need to heal. I'm just getting lost. Don't worry about it. I haven't played this game before. Not at all. So, into the shop. This game makes use of steel pieces, which are excessively heavy, so you don't want to carry too many around at a time. Gems are weightless compared, and they can always be appraised for steel pieces, so I'm trying not to carry too many steel pieces around. Ring of Protection +1, by the way, is common as dirt, and you will find so many of them, it's not even funny. Nice long sword, I was about to say, 200 sword +3 for my ranger. Nothing else needing identification. This is always good. That is one spot you cannot get in these games, as far as I remember. It's been years since I played them. That is another ring of protection +1. One spell, Moose Scroll. It's a cow scroll. It's almost a cow. Never mind. Wrong reality. Sorry. And two wands I will probably forget to use because that is what I do. Unused items. So let's move onwards. Our best room to the left. A nice room. It's probably the same type of room as every other room, but this is what I mentioned earlier, by the way. I'm just lowering the battle speed a bit. It also reduces the speed of forced text. You probably noticed that when we were entering the outpost, there was some text that just vanished. Fix option, by the way, it will cast all the healing spells that the cleric has, and then we memorize healing spells all levels, and we cast them, and we memorize the previous memorized spells all in one click, which is very, very nice. I am not entirely sure why I accented that, but I suppose. And we shall rest. Resting is good. Gives you your spells back. And then we shall save. Because saving is good. Then we move around. I'll probably get lost a bit again, but don't want to go in there. I want to be sent in there. So let's go up into the tower and walk around a bit, because why not? I said looking for something, but it turns out that I was looking for something that doesn't happen at this point in the game. But I was, yeah, you know, when you've been playing a game many years ago and then you go back to it and try to do everything by memory, and yeah, there'll probably be a few missteps, but we'll try to get everything sorted. You will get that message every single time you go past the town gate. So let's go upstairs. It keeps up a story. I'm the post commander Bertil. I need your help. Evil forces besiege us. We need warriors to defend the town. Will you help? Nope. Oh, pick a duty. Cemetery. Go to the temple and help lay our fallen to rest. Remember, the town is sealed. Dismissed. Yeah, I think we are getting told about 400 times the town is sealed. We are aware. So let's go to the temple. Stand and be identified. Ugh. The town priest is tired. I dread this task above all. You lay the bodies of the dead on carts. As you walk to the tombs, the priest talks. I will give our dead my highest beneficence, but hope fails me. I sanctified Sir Carl, yet his body vanished from a tomb here. I blame Lord Soth. Once a great knight, he now uses that power for ill. The town cemetery. Suddenly you go to work. Each broken body is blessed. At last it is done. The others wheel the carts away, leaving you alone with your thoughts. You enter a quiet alcove. Sir Carl's grave. The graveyard is silent, except for whispers of wind. All seems in order. You find Sir Carl's grave, heaped in flowers and marked by the gleaming marble obelisk that Maya had prepared. Yet something is amiss. The obelisk leans slightly. As you put out a hand to correct it, it suddenly topples. Crash! Full on the grave it falls, breaking through soot and casket to reveal black tunnels that reek of putrefaction and disease. An evil chuckle stops you cold. You turn to see a beast perched on a tombstone, a dreadwolf. His eyes ooze wickedness. Sir God warns of you. I see exaggerates. Just in case, wherever you go, I will stop your meddling. Remember that snake charm we memorized earlier? This is where it comes in handy. Legion of carrion snakes swarm up over you. You'll take some damage. And now we can cast. Will Callistia cast charm snakes? Indeed. Hooray! The sound piece appears with many knights. Paladine, protect us! They block the holes with stones and spells. Go and rest. That sounds like a decent idea. So, Callistia can actually level up. Hooray! Having a high level cleric is always a good thing to have. A nice one. So, time to memorize. The training hall is shut during the night, so couldn't have gone in there. We drop that one and then we take a resist fire because, yeah, long term, being a bit prepared for things to come. So, back upstairs again. You climb the stairs. Hooray! Upper story. Sir Bertel talks with another knight, Sir Garin. Wait outside! Garin shouts, but Bertel waves you in. Sir Garin wants to break the siege. Mayhap he's keen to bloody his new sword. You see Garin clutches a sword dropped by Sir Carl. Should we attack? Nope. I agree. We will keep our vigil. Garin storms out. Ready for a task? Superb. Pick a duty. We shall go on patrol. And this will be the end of this part. I hope you somewhat enjoyed my attempted voice acting, even though doing the Dreadwolf killed my voice. So thanks for watching, take care, and see you again. Bye bye for now.